Oh, we speak now to Sam Mulliner from Newcastle Fan TV. Good morning to you, Sam. Great to see you. So we think we know what Eddie Howe wants to do in terms of which areas he wants to strengthen. Where do you think the club need to strengthen?
I think the attention now will turn to the defence. After bringing in Sandro Tonali in midfield and Harvey Barnes replacing Alan St-Maximin, which, as Eddie Howe alluded to there, it's a big shame we've had to let him go. But I think now the attention turns towards the defence, a left-back. I mean, Dan Burn's been immense, and a good left-back is going to be very hard to come by, that's available anyway. We've been linked to Livramento from Southampton, but that's obviously more of a right-sided player. Could that shift Trippier over to left-back? I don't know, but it certainly wouldn't surprise me to see Dan Burn continuing at left-back this season. I think a centre-back is also on the cards. I think Jamal Lascelles will stay, and it was brilliant to hear Eddie Howe earlier this week pay tribute to the club captain. But I think a long-term partner for Sven Botman going forward is something we'll look to do, look to bring in. I'd love to see a Gonçalo Ignacio from Lisbon come in, but I just don't know what's realistic for Newcastle anymore. I never thought Sandro Tonali was realistic, or Alexander Isak last year was realistic. I just don't know anymore.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the defence, it does look like they want a right-back, a left-back and a centre-back. As you mentioned, all three there. With Livramento, they've gone up to 30 million, but Southampton want 50 million, so there is a little bit of a gap there. But the ones who have come in so far, you mentioned Tonali and Harvey Barnes. How happy are you with them?
Just Sandro Tonali is one of the most hottest prospects in European football. I can't believe we've got him. He'll need time to bed in, but once he's adapted to the English game and English life, I think you'll see one of the best midfielders in Europe. And then put that with Bruno Guimaraes and Joe Linton. That's a midfield that can compete with anything in Europe. That's unreal. I mean, considering where we were a couple of years ago, absolutely incredible. Harvey Barnes, we were looking at someone in that final third with a bit more end product, and his stats certainly back that up. Again, it's a shame we're going to have to lose Alan St-Maximin because we love a maverick. We love that kind of player at Newcastle. He gets everyone off their seats. His statistics don't look overly favourable on him because of his end product, but I mean, injuries has plagued him a little bit, and I'm still quite sad to see him go. And other outgoings like Jamal Lewis, great move for him, getting to play first team football again. That's a move that just hasn't worked out at all. He's gone to Watford, so it gets some squad players off the wage bill. But yeah, the business, not just this summer, but since the takeover in general, I think it's been incredibly shrewd and very, very clever indeed.
So you said there how the midfield can compete with any team in Europe. What about the squad in general? Because you are in the Champions League this season. Is it strong enough to compete in the Champions League, whatever those aspirations may be?
You bet your boots were in the Champions League this season. I think we do. I mean, it's going to be a tricky balancing act because more games now. We want to be competing on all fronts. Last season was incredible, but we didn't have the pressures of European football, and you know it's going to be a challenge, but I'm sure it's one that Eddie Howe and his squad are absolutely going to relish. I can't wait for the Champions League draw. I think we can surprise a few. Whether that affects our league form, it remains to be seen, but I really do think we can surprise a few in the Champions League. And the only thing missing really is getting the permission slip signed from my wife for a Champions League away day.
Hey, Sam, take her with you. All right, that's what you need to do. Nice hotel, take her with you. Last season, it was... I wonder if she is as keen as you are on that one. I mean, last season, it was a great year. What is success this season? We know how much Newcastle fans crave a trophy. You were very, very close to that. Do you have to consolidate, meaning Champions League football, again the following season? Or can you go even higher?
Well, the A word has returned back to Newcastle. Ambition. It's something that we've not been used to, and it still feels a bit dirty to go on about saying, yes, let's get top four, let's have a cup run. We're going to smash the Champions League, get out the group stage. But look, our owners are very ambitious. Eddie Howe's ambitious. The squad is ambitious. Top four has to be the aim again. But I will, with the caveat of, Personally, I'm just enjoying the ride. Last season was so much fun. There were so many were you there moments, like the Spurs game at home, some great away days at West Ham, Everton, even Forest at the Friday night game was a lot of fun. The Carabao Cup run was just out of this world, and to be where we are so soon is absolutely incredible. But the owners aren't here to muck about. Top four is going to be the aim. Another cup run would be great, and I think if we can make it out of the group stages of the Champions League, just who knows? Who knows? There's nothing to lose. The only kind of caveat is that we need a couple more bodies in, but Eddie Howe knows that. Dan Ashworth knows that. There needs to be a few more bodies in to really prepare the squad, because the depth is still something that's lacking a little bit, but it's a balancing act, as we know, with financial fair play.
So I'm not sure if you made it clear. Just to be clear, are you in the Champions League next season?
You bet your boots we are, Tom.
Great to see you, Sam. Thank you.